opportunity to witness powerful and profound people who encourage our lives to be better, who encourage us not to give up and to refuse to give in.
Yeah.
By the way of the Bible, we are inspired. We are encouraged. We are uplifted when we are down. We are humbled when we get too big for our britches.
That's right.
The Bible keeps us centered, keeps us focused. It reminds us not only that we are blessed, but it reminds us where our blessings come from. That it's not our titles or our certificates on the wall. Not what we drive or where we live. But that every good thing that has happened in our lives, God did it. As you survey the Bible, to me, you cannot leave it without being impressed by one of its most profound and powerful characters. A prophet by the name of Elijah. This was a man. A manly kind of man. He was not intimidated by politics or power or position. Sometimes when it was necessary, he could be downright rude. He said it like it was. And if you didn't like it, it was your problem, not his. The Tishbite, Elijah, was a man that God called, and he gave God all that he had. Unlike some of us, Elijah was not a lukewarm man. Elijah would go if he had to go by himself. He didn't take a poll. He wasn't running for office. But his belief was, if God said it, I believe it. And I'm going to take him at his word. Among the many episodes of Elijah, I particularly like the one where he came face to face against a king named Ahab. Somebody's read the story. Elijah faced Ahab because God sent him to talk to a king who needed some talking to. Sometimes in our lives, we need somebody with our titles and our positions and our blessings who ain't scared to tell us you making a fool out of yourself. Elijah was the right man for the job. That in the middle of Ahab's seeming success, Elijah was called to tell him about himself. Ahab was the king of Israel. He was a treacherous king. He was a wicked king. He was an evil king. And worst of all, he married a woman that was more wicked than himself. Brothers and sisters, If you've ever had a struggle in your life, there's no struggle like the struggle of a marriage. Yeah. Right. He was bad. Yeah. She was worse. Yeah. That made for a dangerous combination. Yeah. And Elijah said, I'm going to tell both of you about yourself. Somebody say, Lord, have mercy. Israel, I need to put in context, was in trouble. Israel was in trouble because they were facing a plague. The people were plagued. There was a drought in the land. Mm-hmm. There was no water in the land, not for days, not for weeks, not for months, but for years. They were facing no water. History tells us that the earth actually ruptured because of a lack of water. Wow. Animals died. A famine ensued. Little food, no water, no hope, no help. But worst of all, the famine wasn't brought on by natural disasters. Are you praying with me? But the famine and the drought was brought on by God. God was angry with them. He was angry because of their unbelief, because of their disrespect. Ahab had led his people into idolatry.
That's right.
They were praising the blessing instead of the blessor. They were praising the gift instead of the giver. There's somebody this morning that is shining their new car. That God gave to them. When they were on that MTA bus, they were at the altar. When they were catching a hat, they were praying for God's blessing. But the moment God opened up the windows of heaven and poured them out a blessing, they forgot where their blessing came from. But I'm going to do a little pulse check this morning. Is there anybody in Liberty Grace that God has been good to you and you remember where your blessing comes from? Some were serving Jehovah. Some, are you praying with me?
Come on.
Were serving the idol Baal. And even worse, some were serving both, straddling the fence. Let me just be clear here. I'd rather deal with a person who don't like me and I know it than to deal with somebody that's straddling the fence, pretending to love me when you don't, acting like you love me while you're stabbing me in my back. If you're with me, be with me. If you're against me, be against me. But you cannot have it both ways. Elijah these two choices. He said, enough is enough. But choose not next year, not next month, not next week, but choose you this day. Whether you gonna serve Jehovah or whether you gonna serve Baal. But now let me take my Joshua moment to tell you for a minute. As for me and my house, we will. Is anybody with me? We will. I wonder if I got any witnesses. We will. Whether it's cloudy, we will. Whether it's raining, we will. Whether I'm up, we will. Whether I'm down, we will serve the Lord. Then here's what you do. Let's put this God thing to a test.
Yes, sir.
Y'all gonna pray with me?
Yeah.
He said, I tell you what, let's see whether God is real. Now I'm gonna pause this morning to tell you I know my God is real. He's real? Oh, I feel like preaching today. He's real in my soul. Every now and then I can feel it in my head. I can feel, why ain't y'all talking back to me? I can feel it in my feet. I can feel it all over me. God. You said get your prophet. 450.
That's right.
Prophets of Baal. Line them up. You and your folk against me.
Right.
Lord have mercy. 450 against me. That's just about even. He says, here's what we're going to do. We're going to set up an altar. We're going to kill a bullock. We're going to set it up right. You call on your God and see if you'll rain fire from heaven, and I'll call on mine and see what he will do. I love it when my enemies put my God to a test.
Amen.
When they tell me, King, you ain't going to make it. When they tell me, King, you going to fall apart. I love it when I hear folk tell me what God can't do. Set it up. The 450 from Baal. Kill the bullock. Set up the altar. And they started dancing. Doing their ritual. They started singing. Doing their ritual. They started stepping. Doing their ritual. 12 noon came. Stepping. Singing. Shouting. Dancing. No fire. Elijah said, well, maybe your God is hard of hearing.
Maybe sleep.
Wait, I ain't making this up.
Maybe sleep.
He said, maybe if you talk a little louder, call on him a little louder.
Right.
Maybe he's gone on vacation.
Right. Maybe in the bathroom.
Maybe he's asleep.
Yeah, maybe in the bathroom.
You gotta wake him up. They started cutting themselves.
Yeah.
Good God.